Can you create, with no experience whatsoever, a piece of jewelry, not just a piece of jewelry, but an engagement ring of high standard in platinum with absolutely no experience within a working week? That's the question.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm a programmer and an entrepreneur. I was looking for a way to make a ring to propose to my girlfriend, an engagement ring, and I couldn't bring myself to go into a shop and just pick something that someone else had designed. So I thought at the very least I needed to design a ring, and it needed to be my own, have a piece of me in it. I came up with the idea was that, well, it'd be really cool if I could make a part of it. And that led me to think, well, why don't I just make the whole ring? Would that be impossible? I went online, I spoke to jewelers and various other people in London. I was like, would you allow me to come into the shop and make stuff, and I'll pay you for your time? And everyone was basically saying, this is impossible, what you're doing, we've trained for years to do this, sometimes even decades.
So the first thing I thought about is, this is insane, this is crazy, but at the same time, nothing is impossible. And I knew that this was going to be a challenge that would be so satisfying if we can pull it off. So imagine you're coming into a place where you've never seen any of the stuff that you're working with, you've never touched any of the stuff, you're completely unfamiliar. Everything from what the purpose of the actual tool is, to how to handle the tool, to how to execute a perfect cut, or how to execute a perfect solder, or utilizing any one of the tools in the shop. That was day one for me. Day one was not an introduction to show him how to make a plain round ring in silver, which is what we've done. It wasn't about the item itself, it was about his relationship to this crash course that we had to go through so we can move over to platinum. That's how silver reacts, platinum is going to react differently. That's how this machine works. Mess it up now, understand what I'm requiring from you. If I say 2.1 millimeters, find 2.1 millimeters. Also, this is how a vernier works to read that.
Are you moving the whole thing? Yeah, that's pretty what you're doing. That seems a lot easier.
I always thought we were gonna do something like this, and I thought it was going to be, it was more challenging, but also more fun than I expected. This is not quite professional quality, but it's really, I'm really proud of it. I'm somewhat intimidated, but also excited. I'm very confident in Jaco's ability to get the best out of me.
Now, Justin chose to make a ring which was a classic style ring, a folklore ring with diamond set shoulders. His choice was interesting because I think he thought it might have been the simplest way of going about it. But by making it by hand, it was actually quite complicated, because with minimal parts to a ring, you can quite easily see if something's not straight, something's not right. I planned the whole thing so that we start always with obviously the setting at the center, because everything has to match up to the center stone, which was already like, a cushion cut sapphire, top quality with a certain depth and a certain cut. Looking as clean as possible. After this one, just take another measurement to see where we're going with it, what the result is. That's it, you're getting into it. The absolute best material for making jewelry, it's platinum. There's nothing that touches it. It demands more from you, and it so pays off. It's more tarnish resistant to start off with, so it's going to shine for longer. It's more dense, so it's going to last longer, especially with fine things like engraving and setting of stones and that kind of thing.
What, is it going to make more of a square or a pizza? Like, is it going to make a circle or like a...
For a pizza.
Okay,
yeah. Kind of like a...
It'll be like a
pizza.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, okay, fine. So we just changed the angle.
So
It's a sharper angle.
It's 90-degree angle
Yeah.
all the way around.
Yesterday we had greater ambitions than what we ended up doing, but we did something very important, which was to make the base that the stone fits in. So importantly, we chose which specific stone we're going to be using, and we made the house that it kind of sits in.
Fully committed to working towards this goal. I kind of forgot that he wanted some sort of an extra special thing to the ring as well. So you don't only have a straightforward ring. Now we're building hidden compartments into the design as well.
I want to have a secret inscription, a secret message in the ring in some way, and I wasn't sure how to do it. Yesterday evening we spoke about it a little bit, the different options, and this morning Jaco probably slept on it and has figured out a way that might work. So we were discussing that. So that requires doing 2 sections to the ring and joining them together. So that's what we're discussing now. But it does change a few of the other things. I'm feeling a bit more comfortable, like having to look at something so closely for so long.
Are you taking breaks?
I am. Yeah. Every 5 minutes, every now and then. Yeah. Yeah. I was like. It was a point at which I was looking, and I was like, I'm actually not sure which line I'm even supposed to be looking at. And I was like, okay, time for a break. So don't want to be turning it there. That's probably the max.
He came in with a determination to do this, and he set his mind to that, and he was going for it, whatever it took.
Burning the fingers. More?
Yep, another one. My head was so connected to what we were doing. I think I lost that entire week with any other things that could have popped into my head, because I went home thinking about it, and I'd get back the next day and I'd come back to him and say, I thought about this, and he'd be like, yes, I thought about this. In fact, I dreamt about this, and we'll put all of that stuff together. So it became exciting.
The ring is starting to take shape, so it felt very solid. When we were dealing with all these fine, like tiny little pieces that I could barely feel, and then it comes together. I think Jaco's given a lot of margin for error, but we're still maybe taking a little longer on certain things. So we've started being, okay, 10 minutes on this, 30 minutes on this, which I think is good. Touch wood, nothing has gone seriously wrong in here. We haven't had to redo stuff at all. We want a little contingency in case I screw something up. I knew that I was probably going to underestimate everything, and I did. Jaco was great, giving me instructions, and there was a few moments where I just didn't know where I was and stuff, and I felt that I could just ask for some guidance.
It felt like he needed to be 100% the person that touched this ring. I left him to do that. I inspected it, I looked at the work, but I didn't work on the piece itself. I was waiting for him to ask me if there was something that he wanted me to get involved in, and he didn't do that, which was perfect.
Don't breathe too heavily. That solder is the real test of your ability to be patient, because it gets on on the tweezers, and then it doesn't want to go, and by the 10th time you're doing it, I think the more irritated you get, the worse it becomes. You can't pick up the solder, so you really have to keep your head about you. Yeah, just 5 years, 5 years, 5 days of my life, and only a minor burn and a slight gash.
What about mentally?
Mentally relieved. Yeah, I think what we've made is amazing, but I'm glad to be parting with it now. I think the biggest thing I learned is that, when in doubt, I could just slow it all down. I could look at everything. I could get some feedback from the master, and mistakes only happen when you either get irritated, which I did at a stage, and frustrated and impatient, and you go too fast. That's kind of, so my solution to everything when I felt that it was going badly was just slow it all down, a duller file, or a slow movement or something like that. And any of the mistakes that I made was from being impatient and wanting to get it done. So.
To do this in 5 days was a challenge. It's like if you're doing a race. If you're preparing for a race, you can't just walk in there. You've never swam in your life, or you paddle around in a pool a little bit, and you're going to go and do a mile across a river somewhere. It's going to be a problem. This was a problem, which we solved. It was done well. The proportions are well. The ring is strong. I was completely surprised, actually, and I think so was he. We're human beings. We are not single functional things that do one particular thing. We're multifunctional creatures. You can do anything you possibly want, and he's just proven that. I think the magic lies within that, the fact that you don't know if you can do something, but the fact that you can challenge yourself, especially when you're looking at something and you think it's impossible. He's woven himself into the entire story. It's not just the moment of giving the ring, it's the entire birth, the forming of this thing from his hands. There's more suffering to it, there's more learning to it, there's more resistance to just buying something. It becomes something that asks something from you to do.
You can absolutely do it. I wasn't convinced, but now I am, that absolutely, with the right guidance, maybe a little luck, and a couple of cut and burn fingers, you can definitely make something amazing. So.